So I just read The Day of the Locust by Nathaniel West, and I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs in the last chapter, and this is basically the best part of the book, and it goes like this. All their lives they had slaved at some kind of dull, heavy labor, behind desks and counters, in the fields, and at tedious machines of all sorts, saving their pennies and dreaming of the leisure that would be theirs when they had enough. Finally, that day came. They could draw a weekly income of $10 or $15. Where else should they go but California, the land of sunshine and oranges? Once there, they discover that sunshine isn't enough. They get tired of oranges, even of avocado pears and passion fruit. Nothing happens. They don't know what to do with their time. They haven't the mental equipment for leisure, the money nor the physical equipment for pleasure. Did they slave so long just to go to an occasional Iowa picnic? What else is there? They watched the waves come in at Venice. There wasn't any ocean where most of them came from, but after you've seen one wave, you've seen them all. The same is true of the airplanes at Glendale. If only a plane would crash once in a while, so they could watch the passengers being consumed in a holocaust of flame, as the newspapers put it. But the planes never crash. Their boredom becomes more and more terrible. They realize that they've been tricked and burn with resentment. Every day of their lives they read the newspapers and went to the movies. Both fed them on lynchings, murder, sex crimes, explosions, wrecks, love nests, fires, miracles, revolutions, wars. This daily diet made sophisticates of them. The sun is a joke. Oranges can't titillate their jaded palates. Nothing can ever be violent enough to make taut their slack minds and bodies. They have been cheated and betrayed. They have slaved and saved for nothing. Now, I went to California in 2012, end of 2012, December. I didn't go to LA. I went to San Diego. I was there for 59 months, just a month shy of 5 years. And I experienced what Nathaniel West just wrote there. You go out there with expectations thinking that the California sunshine is going to heal your broken soul. And it doesn't. Now, I will say this. I did get clean and sober, which I was not expecting to do. I read a lot of great books. I had a lot of delectable experiences with women, and drank a lot of beer and smoked a lot of pot. And I guess I'm glad that I had my California experience. But yeah, it's a letdown. And if you can't afford to enjoy the atmosphere, then life is very tough. And so you have a marked divide between the rich and the poor. The disparity is wide and great. The rich live like kings, like sultans, on Mount Soledad with a Mexican maid. Esmeralda, did you make breakfast? Si, senor. You know, it's wonderful. There are German cars in the garage, and it's a rather large garage, so there's lots of cars. But the poor people suffer and struggle in a way that is reminiscent of Baudelaire, 19th century Paris, that kind of shit. Awful shit. And I got a taste of that. So, no, California is not all it's cracked up to be, man. It's not the promised land. But maybe it says something about the rest of the country. You know, the rest of the country must be so achingly dull that people are willing to take that risk and go out west, and they get out there and they find out that it's not all it's cracked up to be. So Nathaniel West, he was in his 30s when he wrote that, and He he was in his 30s and he wrote it in the 30s. So that was some pretty lucid writing for back then. He died in a car crash on his way. He ran a stop sign and he was on his way to F. Scott Fitzgerald's funeral when he got creamed. He was in the car with his wife. I don't know if she survived, but a lot of talent. Yeah, California, it's a very dysfunctional state with dysfunctional people. I'm not even envious of the movie stars anymore. I used to be as a kid, but now it turns out they're all having to bend over on the casting couch and, you know, be crawl on the floor and be sex-exploited and go to ditty parties and get their butt played with for a contract. I'll be honest with you, I don't want it that bad. I'd love to see my name on the marquee, like anybody gives a shit. To be in the next Tarantino film would be cool, but I don't want it that bad. So, Nathanael West. Let me show you what the book looks like. Pretty cool, huh? So happy reading, happy adulting. Don't take anything too seriously, and remember that no one really gives a shit. So just you've only got a few hours in the day. Make the most of it, and if you go to California, just know that to visit there is not the same thing as to live there. And if you don't have money, you're not going to live like you got money. You're going to live like a absolute pauper. And to quote Dostoevsky, being poor is not a crime.